Super Tendo Boy. Today I'm going to show you guys how to make textures like these and many more, and some of the methods you can use to create them. Some of them are old, some of them are new, some of them you've heard before, some of them you haven't heard before. Some are hard and some are easy, but we're going to go through all 4 of them. If there's any others that you guys don't see in this video that you know of, please put them in the comments below. So, let's begin. The first method is probably my favorite, but the only problem with this method is it doesn't work in one commands and contraptions that you can install into other worlds. These are hard-coded into the worlds that you use, and these are just maps with custom textures in here. Now normally, for a map, you'd have to build all of this, and then you'd have to open up the map to see the lay of the land, and you'd have to make it entirely green. But using MC Map Item Tool, which is a website that you can click on the screen right now to find, or Texel Elf's Map It filter for MC Edit, you can create awesome images like these, and then use item frames to display them onto blocks. So these look really nice. They can probably give you the most high definition look, but they still have this birch edge that is given to all item frames. So if you don't like that, you'll have to use one of these other methods. The next method here is probably the one I use the most because it works in one command, but it is a little bit more work. So this is custom player heads. As you can see right here, I have a little loaf of bread. Over here I have a small dispenser that I can right click and I can use as a mineral refinery. This is actually one of my custom machines. Link on the screen to go watch that video on how you can turn custom heads into usable machines. But you can make these whatever you want. You can take any player head, including your own Minecraft head, and you can make one and you can install it into your world as a block, and you can change your skin and it'll still be there. Now, you can also add them using armor stands, but we'll talk about that a little later. And you can use Fresh Coals online website to generate those, and when you do that, you are given a long string of numbers and letters that you can put in the SkullOwner tag of the give command or summon command that you're using the custom head for, and then you can give it to yourself and place it down just like a block or put it on an armor stand. But as I said, we'll talk about that a little bit later. So let's go on to the next method. Next up here is one that I just sort of recently started using that's sort of has a special place in my heart because it's something that I don't see people use a lot, and I feel like could be optimized a lot more because it's really easy to use, and that's just using mobs. Right here I have a Magma Cube, and as you can see its face is on this side, but it fits the grid of a Minecraft block perfectly when it's at the size of 1. And how I got it to line up was I actually summoned an item frame and then summoned a NoAI Invulnerable silent slime at its location. And if we just activate this string of commands, and see, you can place one right here, and we could even place a barrier inside so it could be a solid block, and we could stand exactly on it because it's the exact height, or roughly the same height as any other block. But as you can see, there's some entities around, so it's kind of hard to show that. And then right here we have a giant's head. There's just a giant zombie, and a giant zombie's head is almost exactly a 3x3x3 cube of zombie goodness, and you can put this on walls. And I've seen a lot of people actually put items on them or put special armor, and this isn't exactly a custom texture because it's still inside of Minecraft, but it's another alternative that I find really useful. That I don't know, it's something different that you guys can try out. But the main one that most people use, or at least that I see other YouTubers use, is just armor stands. Armor stands aren't really a custom texture either, but rather a combination of a bunch of other Minecraft's textures and assets to create new 3D sort of assets. Like right here, I have my Team Fortress 2 teleporters, and this consists of armor stands with different blocks on their heads and in their hands, and it gives you this nice look here. or my ore sifter, which is just a cobweb in an armor sten's head tilted sideways, which looks really nice. And I have an entire video linked onto the screen right now that you can click on, created by the lovely SGWRPG. Go check out a bunch of their really useful tutorials that have a lot to do with sort of the thing I'm talking about in this video. And in that video you can see how to change the pose, the items, the values, everything you would need to make a group of armor stands look like this. And if we grab a redstone block, we can just stand right here, and with 8 commands we can place this down wherever we want. And so that's pretty cool. So which of these methods do you like best? Do you find any of these useful? Would you actually use these? Which ones did I not mention in this video? Which ones do you already use? Do any of these not work for you? I will have a lot of the commands in the description, but not all of them. So go ahead and check them out. If nothing works, tell me in the comments below. And as always, have yourself a wonderful day.